Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxchair, on the show tonight as the three wise men. GFK, Bridgeman and Port Bear. Evening, gentlemen.
Wise men.
Should have said unemployed wise men.
evening, Oxjair, evening Port, evening Bridgeman. It's lovely to be back. Friday night. Love it, love it, love it.
Evening, troops. Hope you're all well. Looking forward tonight. Interesting show ahead, I dare say.
How can I just say a huge good evening to you guys and to you, Oxchair, as well. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, Bridge? How's the new telly going, mate?
Oh, it's looking great, pal. Looking great. And it's still the same. It's still only 65. So you don't need to extend it any further. It's a 65 inch.
Dear. How are you, Port Bear?
I'm fine, mate. Brand new. I can see a big light in that direction. Bridgeman said it must be the fancy LEDs off that telly.
Shocking you. That's shocking you.
When he turns on the telly, he turns off all the lights in his house.
Oh, brilliant.
That's probably drawing all the power for Glasgow.
Maybe, mate, maybe. How are you, GFK?
I'm fine, mate. It's the first time I've heard a woman complain about the size, but there you go. That's what happens. Yeah, I'm good.
Brilliant.
Right.
I was telling my wife, Jimmy, that Oxford saying he told the nation that they'd got a 96-inch telly.
Aye.
I says to the wife, and she took her a couple of minutes and she says, I hope you don't think we're going to get a 96-inch telly in here.
Leave it with us. Leave it with us. Yeah, what about Big Stevie for the drum getting the fan mail for the wee last 8-year-old? How cute was that?
Brilliant, isn't it? Just brilliant.
But we're going to send a signed photo, but we think we'll just send a card.
Aye. Don't frighten her. Sorry, Stevie, I know you're listening, pal.
You could say that.
I love you, really.
Port Bear would do it. He would pose for that. Handsome devil he is.
Same thing, mate. We'll send a card, mate.
Exactly.
You've got to remember, Bridge, we're on the radio for a reason. There's no TV.
That's exactly.
Yeah. Right, okay.
Enough, eh?
All right, things are starting to heat up in the transfer market. You're a big fan, Port Bear. Yeah?
I love it,
transfer
mate.
Window. You love it, don't you?
I love it, mate. I really do. As you well know, it's been on since I've been at work. I took a wee holiday for my birthday. It's been on my TV, and I had a wee conversation with Oxjay the other day, and the missus was not very happy with Oxjay. The transfer Sky Sports window's been on my TV since the transfer window opened, mate. I love it.
She was very nice to me. It was you she had the problem with.
Yeah.
I've heard that before as well. I've heard somebody saying that before as well.
But aye. You're a bit of an anorak. He's a bit of an anorak, GFK, yeah?
Nah, that's a polite word to call him, aye. Aye. Transfer window's interesting, just it's a pain in the A. It's one to get it here and done with. I can't commend it quick enough for me, but you're always sitting in anticipation about what's going to happen. So, it's not something I really look forward to at all, quite honest with you. Especially coming in tickly about the last couple of days, you decide to, who's going to go. But it is what it is, so we just got on with it.
Aye. I think this has got a wee bit more excitement because there's a chance we might sign some plus GFK a few years back. We weren't signing anybody, were we?
Well, aye, but there's a chance. I mean, there's some funds there, as we know, with the signing of Nathan. Best of luck to Nathan and wish him all the best and everything that's coming for him in the coming seasons ahead of him, whoever he is, with Everton and others. I'm looking at different players that Rangers have been connected with, and some are okay and some I'm not really too. I don't want them,
I've never heard them, mate. I'm going to be honest.
Aye. See with the boy for is it the Danish boy, is it?
Goldson.
I seem like wanting 7.5 for him, but
7.5.
7.5 million, aye.
I just think he's got to get caught into this clip, mate. I've had a word with a certain guy before who's been down that rabbit hole. Yeah. You see him standing there with a scarf on, there'll be 2 out of 100 will be up there.
Aye, you know, these clickbait sites and, you know, rumours that you hear.
Yeah.
These are started by media companies and, you know, even agents get involved in it now to try and start bidding wars for their players. This is why these things happen. But on the Skov Larsson one, Oxford, he has been linked previously with a previous manager as well. So it is somebody we've been looking at.
Believe that?
I'd like to think so, mate, because what I've seen him, he's a decent player. I'm excited by him, mate. I've got to admit.
Clickbait sites, mate. Clickbait sites.
Yeah.
No. See, you should stick to the master sites, but that doesn't sound too good.
No. Mr. Beats runs him, doesn't he?
We'll see what it takes. Players come and go all the time. Obviously, Nathan's away. James Sands has come in, JFK, utility player, American internationalist, 18 months right before you buy,
Yeah, well, I didn't know anything about him at all, and I went and looking, not just on YouTube for highlights. I went and I looked for the MLS Cup final against the Portland Timbers, and I sat and I watched the whole game, and they won the MLS Cup, and he's a decent player, mate. Looks as if he puts his cell about quite well. He's got a good eye for the passing. I'm quite pleased. Not going to go overboard like other clubs, whoever they bring in. I think it'll be a good addition.
The world's greatest players.
The world's greatest players. I think it'll be I think it'll be a cracking addition to the squad. I think he'll need to play sail into the team. But I'm happy and excited what I've seen. I watched the 90 minutes he played, and it was good, mate. It was definitely good.
All right, okay.
As I say, I hadn't heard him before, but as I said, I went and I looked for it. MLS Cup final. Go and look for it, guys. Watch the 90 minutes before he plays for Rangers. He's a decent player. Very, very decent. So I'm happy with that, mate. Happy.
I looked for the guys on the guys you were talking about before, showing the FIFA top 10 players that have been announced today. I couldn't see anything, but there you go. We'll see what it takes us. Bridgeman, you're a wise old bird. Do you like this try before you buy?
In some cases, yeah, I don't mind it at all. But the biggest thing I prefer insofar as the pre-contract type deals, the loan player for a young Sands, I'm quite happy an 18-month loan. I'd be quite happy with that. And try before you buy. So after 18 months or in between times, if we see him like him, we can buy him because we've got an exclusive deal with him. And I'm quite happy with that. We're not changing it. Any money is going to change hands until Rangers want to change it. And I don't think they will do that. I think they'll do it. They maybe sign him on, that's all, just offer him a contract, and that's it. It's the same with the rumours I was hearing about the big fella with Hearts, Souttar. Again, I'll say it again, I don't want Rangers paying any money other than it's one of the type of deals that we've done with Kamara. We're going to sign him on. If Rangers want to sign him on as shall we say, a pre-contract one, then fine, they go and do that. And if they want to give Hearts an extra couple of bob, they could do that, although I wouldn't want them to do that. We're going to sign a pre-contract, do it, see how it goes. That's what I can say to that.
Okay, we'll see what it takes us with that. That's another rumour, I think. There might be truth in it, there might not be. We'll see what it takes us. I think we definitely need a centre-half because where we are with the contracts of the players and the fitness of the players we've got this new Port better.
I think it's something we really need to look at, mate. Certainly, probably in this window, if I'm honest, as in getting somebody in the door. I know James Sands can play that position, mate, but I see him as like you touched on earlier on, a utility man. I think he'll be used as when required in different positions. So I would like to see them go and getting, whoever they've got their eye on, mate, whether it be the boy from Vitesse Arnhem or John Souttar comes in, in the winter rather than the summer on pre-contract. If it costs us $200,000, mate, so be it. I wouldn't really care. because I think Souttar himself was getting a lot of attention for like Blackburn and Stoke, who are in the promotional push. So I think it was a tough one to go over the line, mate. I'm going to be really honest. I think it's a tough one to go over the line because he's got suitors in England who could potentially be playing the Premier League next year if they get promoted. So I think it'll be a very good job.
I think we could match any of them with wages, mate.
I agree with that, but what I'm getting at, mate, is the potential I'm getting to play the Premier League possibly next year. And I jump my money. Yeah, I know that. I know, mate.
His stock, mate. He comes with good stock.
Yeah, definitely. It's for me. It's a no-brainer. And I mean, I saw the clubs that were in supposedly looking at Souttar, like Stoke and Sheffield United and Blackburn Rovers, and I know his brother Harry plays for Stoke.
Yeah.
But what does he want to do? Does he want to play yo-yo football? Maybe have a chance of getting to the English Premiership and get back down the next season. He plays with Rangers. He'll win titles and he'll win cups. So I mean, I don't understand. I've heard he's been down to Sheffield tonight to talk to him. If that's where he wants to go, let him go there. You know, I'm not really interested in that. He wants to play for Rangers. He talks to Rangers. If it's money he wants, let him go for money. But like Ox here says, I think Rangers will be able to match anything the clubs can give him. So it's up to him. He's got a good stock. See, there's various people in his family who are season ticket holders at Ibrox. That's good, but it doesn't mean he's going to come play for the Gers. So I'm hoping he does. I rate him as a decent player, but why go and talk to teams like Stoke and Blackburn? But to me, Blackburn had their day when Jack Walker come in with the big money, and they're nothing now. Stoke's nothing, Sheffield United's nothing. So there's only one team for me, and that's the Rangers, and that's where he should be going. His family should be telling him that. So, but we'll soon see.
I think the only way he'll be travelling down JFK anywhere if he's going for a medical, mate.
Well, I know what you're saying.
He'll not be travelling down to talk to him, no way.
No, but I'm saying he's maybe it was a wrong. He's seemingly speaking to them they know. If that's where he wants to go, then he's not a Rangers player for me. I'm speaking to Rangers and Rangers only, or just and tell us what you're going to do. If you want to go elsewhere, go elsewhere. I'm not really too bothered one way or the other. If he comes, he comes. He comes to Disney.
I do think, Bridgman, I do think we need a centre half. We'll get issues with Big Goldson where he sits for his contract if he does sign, if he leaves. We've got Bassey who's been really good the last 10 games, but is only learning a position. Big Highlander, Bridgman, we all like him. 54 games in 3.5 years nearly. Not a lot, is it?
No, I think the truth's coming out of it. Some of our own players, and I absolutely adore Highlander. And I hope he gets himself back fit, which I believe he's starting to train again. And that'll be fantastic for us if we can get him back on the pitch and see out the end of the season. That'd be brilliant for us. And I do hope that the club are still working on Goldson to stay. As far as Souttar's concerned, and I know a lot of Rangers fans, including Jimmy and a few of the other boys on our side, they like him, they like Souttar, and apart from the fact that he's one of us anyway, they like him, they think he's a good player. I think he's a smashing player with Hearts, and he's playing beside another smashing player, that boy Halkett. He used to play for us. So they're a good pair as a central defensive unit, and I think they do well for Hearts. I personally don't think he's good enough for Rangers, but I've been wrong before about things, and I'll be quite happy to say I was wrong if he comes in and does the business.
Port Bear, Fox has mentioned it a few times in the background that we need to get some of the Scottish players in because of the European situation, yeah?
Aye. It's to do with obviously the coefficient in your Scottish homegrown players, mate. This is something that's come up again, and I think we've got to match our numbers with Scottish homegrown players, mate. And I think it's a sensible deal. You know, I've seen a few games he's played, mate. I watched him for Scotland as well, and I'd seen him. He's very confident on the ball, mate. He likes to come out, and step out for the back line. Going into midfield, very confident on the ball, mate. Good defender, good nair, strong in both boxes. He's got his Scotland caps. He started off at Dundee United, mate, where he did high hopes from there. And then he got a lot. He hits. My worry with him is he seems to be injury prone, mate. But he's had 31 games this season where he's played through everything, mate. And as I said, other clubs in England have obviously scouted the boy as well, and so he's obviously better than I originally thought, mate. I've never really thought a lot about him until we actually started looking at him, or he was linked to the club. So I'm very happy with that level of signing, mate. Because from a position of strength, where I thought we'd plenty of centre halves, when you start looking about, like you touched on there, Hollander, 54 games. I mean, Connor Goldson plays that in one season. Goldson's contract situation, Katic, his number 19 jersey's been given away to the Boys Sands. So that tells me that's the end of Katic. So, as I said, for having all them centre halves at one point, mate, to having potentially Goldson, who's in 6 months, Hollander not playing enough, Balogun's in the last 6 months of his contract, so sort of leaves us Bassey. So we need centre halves in, mate. You're 100% right.
Aye, we need all sorts in. We're first choice pairing. We'll need whoever that ends up, if it's new contracts or whatever, or we'll need squad centre halves in as well. That's the situation we're in. We need them maybe one in the snow, and we're going to maybe minimum 2 before the start of the next season. GFK, then we'll get the phone lines opened.
Aye, definitely. I mean, Hollander for me is a bit of an enigma, I mean, the amount of games he's played since he's been here doesn't bode well. Katic, obviously, I don't think he'll ever come back to his. Balogun was always going to go at the end of the season. So, if Souttar's the answer, then fine, I'm happy with that. But like you've always said, if you don't want to play for us, tell us, go elsewhere, whatever you want to do. But if he comes, he comes. We need to know sooner rather than later. Build on it. I mean, 2 weeks tomorrow, innit? It's Monday. 2 weeks Monday is our next game. First game after this so-called winter break. So
no, a week on Tuesday, mate.
Is it a week on Tuesday? There you go. So it is. I've lost my days here. So it is. But centre back position can be a concern for us. Bassey for me is no long term going forward. He's all right for a stopgap, but apart from that, but Souttar does fit the bill. I kind of agree with what Bridgeman says now. I mean, but I would rather have a guy like Souttar than somebody who's untested. And I think he'll do a job for us, mate. And I hope he signs for us. But let's see. Hope he does.
Only time will tell.
Can I ask a question? Sorry, pal. Sorry.
Hold that question.
Right, bye.
Hold it. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
There's so many people listening out there in Mixlr. Apologies on last night. We did power cut in the studio. Carry on, Bridgeman.
I was just going to ask a question of everybody on the panel, and yourself included, and Foxy too. Man, even as what do you call him, Old School Blue, what do we think that what would it cost us to keep Goldson? Is he looking for an additional set of money, or what kind of conditions does he want? Does he want another extra season on his contract? I think if we pander to him, meet him halfway, if you follow what I mean, then I think he'll sign. I really do think he'll sign. Unless, of course, there's some emotional thing. The wife wants to stay down there and I've got to be there, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to beat that.
Why would you leave yourself exposed if you're going to sign, mate? Because the strange thing is with the Connor thing, if something was to happen to him in the next month, long term, he's not got a contract to us and he's not got a contract to us.
If he comes, he comes.
Who's got the show on?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, but we'll see. I don't know. I really don't know. We've not heard anything, Port Bear. Concerning if it's money or the amount of money, the length of the contract, they're both the same thing, really, aren't they?
Like it's been, like Ibrox, mate, for a long, long time now. Nothing seems to leak from the club in regards to anything regarding player transfers, player contracts, and none of us know what Connor Goldson's after. I've got it's only my theory, mate, it's only my opinion. When you think of guys like John Lundstrom, who's probably walked in the door on, say 25, 30, coming for the Premier League, maybe Connor Goldson's not to that level, mate. And for a guy that plays as many games as he does, and being as consistent as he has been for the club since he's joined us, maybe he feels, mate, that he's worth a bit more. And I don't know what he's on now, mate. So I don't know if you've got any information on that. I don't know what he's on now, but maybe
I don't want to speculate on somebody's wages.
Yeah.
But I would say that potentially it might be the length of the deal, GFK.
I would think so. At the age he is, I think he's looking for a bigger deal, a longer deal. I don't think Rangers are going to give him that, mate. I think Rangers will let him go. I really do. I don't think he's worth what he's maybe asking for, which we might be doing him a disservice here and saying that, but I think he's trying to hold out to see if Rangers offer him a bigger deal. If no, he's going to take his chance to go elsewhere. I think he'll end up in the Championship somewhere at one of the bottom teams, mate. He'll not end up in the Premiership. I think that's what he's trying to think he'll do, but he'll not end up there for me. He's not good enough for that.
Only time will tell. I think he's getting bad advice, personally. Yeah.
Possibly,
I agree.
Possibly,
he's left himself exposed, you know.
Yeah.
Which, and for a professional, is a bit criminal. Bridgeman, you see my point?
Yes, I do, pal. I do. I'm thinking along the lines of Connor Goldson's the best centre half, and most assuredly in Scotland at the moment. Most assuredly by a distance. By a distance. So if we, as a club, are going to, I don't know. I'd like to know what's actually happening. Is he asking for X and only getting offered the X minus 10 or something? Right? I don't think that's right. As Paul Bear said, we shouldn't be seeing the most, shall we say, the best centre half in Scotland playing for Rangers and getting lower wages than other people. That's not right. We should make sure that happens correctly for him. And if they're asking him to sign a new contract, I would imagine that type of money would be on the table. However, it doesn't seem like it. So I'm not that sure what's going on. I think he's the best centre half in Scotland.
I think it might be the length of the deal. The guy's going to be 30 this year, so they're maybe looking at a 2-year. He might be wanting 3 or 4 year, mate. And that's when you get it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's never
It's not worth that.
He's never ever injured. I think he's well worth it, to be honest.
But there's two sides to that coin, Bridge. If you're
of course.
You say he's never injured 200 grams. He's due an injury.
Good point.
Port Bear, I think you've got a structure. The trouble is, if you're not going to be disciplined with that, if you let it go for him, and then somebody else will chap your door, and be through your out of control. Then, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that, mate. I would never want the club ever to do that ever again. Start, going beyond structures in wage terms or transfer fee terms, if that matter, mate. But I think, as I said, Connor Goldson's, in my opinion, he's given his all for Rangers. He's come up. He's never present. And his consistent levels are always, pretty much there. That's probably a good steady 7.5 every week. I just think the guy deserves a contract, mate, and I'd like to see them rather than lose him, because I think as he's developed at Rangers, he's got better probably year on year out. So I just think give the guy, what he wants. If it's 3 years he wants Oxford, give him 3 years and give him his wages. Cause I'd rather keep him, mate, than lose him for nothing. Especially with a centre half problem we've got at the moment.
But you also can't make him get the pen and sign at GFK, can you?
No, you can't. But I mean, what Port Bear's saying there, I don't agree with. I mean, can't just give him a 3-year contract. I mean, what is he wanting for it? I agree with Oxford said earlier on. I mean, has he been badly advised about what kind of money that he can get, or he should get, or he wants? Just can't say give him a 3-year contract, Port Bear, and expect the Rangers to just they'll bend over. So I mean, I would like to see him stay. But if he's been badly advised and somebody's telling him he's worth more than what that he is really, then for me, just give him a 3-year contract and give him what money he wants. I mean, for me, that's a no-no. So whatever's happening down the line, we can see it in some of his gameplay. He's not been up for it. And
I don't think you can accuse him of that since Giovanni walked in the door.
No, I'm not talking about since Giovanni walked in the door. I'm talking about before that. No, I'm not talking about the 8 games that he's been under Giovanni. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about before that. I think that's what a lot of us Rangers fans have got to judge him on. And whatever Giovanni's done to the team has been brilliant, and he has got better. But before that, he was very, very poor in many games. But if the way he's playing now is the way we want to see him play, is that going to enhance his chance of getting a an extended contract with bigger money? I don't know. I wouldn't just say give him a 3-year contract, give him what he wants. He's not that type. He's not that big a player. He's 30. He's maybe 2 good, 3 maybe at the most years on him. But I don't know.
It's a difficult one. I think in an ideal world, I think the vast majority of support would want it to stay, and he'll be looking at what he can get moving, because a signing on fee that he maybe not get at Rangers, so because he's just extending his contract. So the ball's in his court. Players come and go all the time. It's modern football, Bridgeman, and you just have to deal with it. Do I like it? No, really. I get where Albert was coming from last night, but I do agree with you. He's the best centre-half in Scottish football.
Yeah, I don't want to take a lot of sides. I don't want to side against Rangers at all. We just don't know what's going wrong and what the hold-up is, if there is such a thing. Or is it just a fact that the guy's going to see his contract out and go? And if that's the case, like JFK said, don't want to play with Rangers, go away. We've said this. We've said that about other players. I just don't believe, my mind won't let me believe, the Rangers are trying their hardest to keep the best player, best centre-half in Scotland for another 2 or 3 years or 4 years.
But what do you do if you've went to your maximum, your ceiling of your wage level, Port Bear, and then do you break that?
No, under no circumstances, mate. Under no circumstances, I wouldn't break any wage structures to keep them. Definitely not, mate. Definitely not. But on Goldson again, mate, I just think sometimes it's better devil known, devil you don't. At least we know what we get with Connor Goldson. We know consistent levels. We know the top level, and he's played in Europe, etc. And he's top level against like teams like the Scottish top teams like Celtic and stuff.
You're a Kylie fan, mate. But
I just think we know what we're getting with Connor Goldson, mate, and I think, as you touched on last night, I'm sure I heard you saying it, he's a great organiser at the back, mate. The way he's marshalled that defence at times and spoke young Bassey through the last 10 games, and he does do all the talking, mate. I'd like to see him being that mainstay, and then whoever would they sign, if they sign Souttar, if they sign the boy for Vitesse Arnhem, he's the guy that helps the boys settle in, mate. That's another thing that gets me with Goldson. He's a great organiser, mate.
All right. Okay, so I think we'll put it out there and see what the punters think. What do you think?
Aye,
go for it.
Yeah.
What do you think? Come and give us a phone, give us your thoughts. 0141 356 1972. Phone in, speak to the reception, and we'll get back to you. It'd be good to hear what people think, And remember, he is a Rangers player, and we're hoping he drives us on to 56 GFK, yeah?
Of course we do. The way he played before Gio came was quite poor at times, but Gio's obviously gave him a kick up the backside, and he's wanted to show him that he's a good player, and he has been playing really well. But I'm not going to decry him for wanting to better himself and his family life and things like that. But it needs to be realistic. We can't break the bank for him. I want to see him stay, but if he doesn't want to stay in the terms that Rangers gave him, then he's got to go elsewhere. And I just think, I agree with you saying, Oxy, I think he's been badly advised. I think people are telling him he's a better player than he is. He is a great Rangers player, but he's no Premiership class. Maybe I bought him 5-6 teams in England, but Championship in England. But he's certainly no Premiership class. And if somebody's filling his head full of that, then that's nonsense. But for Rangers and Scottish football, he does a job for us, and I want to see him stay. I'd give him a 2-year contract.
All right, only time will tell. Port Bear, we've got quite a few people's contracts up in 6 months, eh?
Aye, yeah, mate. I was looking at some stuff today. There's probably, when I'm looking at it, 7 or 8, mate. I think that Go on in. Let's hear them. When I looked at it today, we had obviously Connor Goldson, Balogun, Scotty Arfield, Jermaine Defoe. So I think who else I remember the day. You filled your homework, mate? I did. I'm struggling now. Listen, I've only got a couple of things to say. Thanks for the call. Don't be a stranger, and we'll speak to you soon. All right?
So was that the stat man you were relying on?
Oh dear. What did they say? Don't work with animals or children, JFK.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Right. Well, last year again. Right. Are you listening? Take two. We've got several players out of contract this summer. Can you let us know who they are? Port Bear.
Right. Put under pressure. Aye. Connor Goldson, Balogun, Scott Arfield, Brandon Barker, Jermaine Defoe. Oh, I'm struggling, mate.
Is this a take 3?
I know.
Okay, right, okay, we'll go run them one at a time. Just stay or go, just simple as that. Yeah, don't need a story behind it. If you've got the choice, if you're the top. Connor Goldson, Jimmy.
Stay.
GFK. Sorry, GFK. Bridgeman.
Stay.
Waste the time asking you, Port. You'll not know the answer. You know what I mean? So
if you ask him twice, you might get a good answer.
We'll go to the next one. It might be. I'll take a guess at this. It could be Alan McGregor, Jimmy. You know what I mean? If you do your homework, you get these. You know, Stephen Davis, Alan McGregor, these kind of guys as well. You know? Alan McGregor, Jimmy.
Stay another season for me.
I'll not ask you, Port Bear, because you'll know the answer.
Yeah.
Bridgeman.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of McGregor. I think we can get another year out of him. It'd be brilliant.
Okay. Right, Stephen Davis, I'll not ask you, Port Bear, because you might not know the answer. There's a theme here, Jimmy, isn't there? Right, okay. Stephen Davis, Port Bear.
I think it's time for him to go, mate.
Okay. Oh. Bridge.
I want to keep him. I want him to stay.
Right, okay. GFK.
Keep him, give him a job in the team. For the team.
Right, okay.
Give him a job, background, staff.
Jermaine Defoe, GFK. I've got your answer wrote down already.
Should never have been there in the first place.
You were consistent with that. Port Bear.
Right for the very start.
Aye, time to go, mate. No time for sentiment, I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm. Rich?
Yeah, I think it's happening now.
Right, okay. This is a toughie. Brandon Barker, Bridgeman.
No, he can go. Oh boy, that's toughie.
Port.
Don't let the door hit you on the way, mate. Yep.
Played against Celtic in 2 victories last season. GFK.
Get rid of Wiggy.
Right, okay. All right. Right, okay. Aye. So we're pretty split there. Who else we got? Port?
Well, obviously you've got Balogun.
GFK. I think you've answered that already here.
Balogun, I think he's done his time for his mate, so I think it's time to go.
Mm-hmm. Bridgeman?
Balogun, well, I would like him to stay. However, I think we've forgotten there's a few other people there, John McLaughlin and company. You know?
We'll get one at a time.
Sorry.
Just, it's no hard question. Stay or go. Just say stay or go.
Clash.
Yeah.
Should I say or should I go?
Yes. Bridgeman, stay or go.
Stay.
Balogun, well, for me. Port.
I'd like to retain him, mate. I would, only because of the shortage of sort of centre halves.
I think we've got to move on, mate.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You made a step. There's no room for sentiment. GFK,
There's
no
not.
room for sentiment. John McLaughlin, GFK.
Oh, John McLaughlin for me is a keeper, mate.
I know he's a keeper, but you keep him.
But hey, come on, hey, look, I'm trying to tell a joke.
I see you there,
right?
Jimmy. I see you there.
See, but it just jumped where it's at me. I was trying to be.
He's a keeper.
Oh, come on. Come on. You didn't even laugh at it at all, Port. Oxygen, no seriousness, mate. I think he'll be the next Rangers number 1.
Aye, I don't mind John McLaughlin. Aye, Port.
Yeah.
Aye, just stay, mate.
Bridge.
Yeah, stay.
Right, Andy Firth. I think we've got to keep him for. I think give him a 5-year deal. GFK.
I'd keep Andy first. Aye.
He's good for the 40s when we win the league.
Yep, definitely.
Highest paid cheerleader, mate. No, he's got to go on off. Can't
Time
wait
to
to
go,
decks, mate. Yep.
Time to go, yeah. Yeah. Bridgeman?
Yeah. Got to go.
All right, okay. You all right? Is that us covered them up? Are you happy?
I'm happy now, mate. Aye.
Okay. JFK, you never were struck with the Jermaine signing money?
Never, right for the very start when we were bringing him to Ibrox, I'd said at that very time I was never happy him coming. I just think he was trying to build up his pension money. I know you and your stats with Port Bernard had thrown his goals ratio and that, but for me, nah, he was never a player for you. Never liked him when he played down south. It was never for me. And I'd be really happy to see him go. Doesn't bring anything to me. Doesn't excite me at all. Obviously, I cheered when he scores for the Gers, but nah, never a million years should they have been near Ibrox. For me, it was a pals act. But anyway, the previous manager wanted to do it, so he done it.
Aye, but we never know his rationale. It might not have just been but otherwise it might have been a lot of things influenced.
Yep. I think so. Yep, my day.
Okay, yeah. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I think it's important to refresh because of wages. You need that money. If they're not producing, they're not getting near the first team. No room for sentiment, mate.
No, that's exactly what I'm getting at, mate. And that's, I'm a massive admirer of Stephen Davis, and it was hard for me to say. I think it's time for the wee man to go. But again, mate, a sentiment thing. I think Van Bronckhorst wants to take the squad to the next level, and I think the wages can be freed up with some of the guys. We forgot to mention Scotty Arfield as well, mate. He's in the last 6 months. So, again, I'm not sure I would retain him either. So I'm thinking, I think Gio wants his squad put together as quick as possible, mate.
Mm-hmm. Just for the record, I never forgot anybody. You did.
I did, I did, mate. I did.
See, Oxy, not like asks a question. We're all talking there about stay or go and that, but there was you're talking about John McLaughlin and Andy Firth and Shagger and that, but there's a goalkeeper there that we missed out, is young McCrory. I mean, going forward, if Alan McGregor does hang up the boots or the gloves, what you want to call it, and the goalkeeper is John McLaughlin, who would you have as his understudy? Would you bring another goalkeeper in, or would you be happy with what we've got?
Well, the boys know what he's doing. He kept 2 clean sheets. They think highly of him, and let's say he'll be 18 months older and develop more physically, he might be ready, Yeah. So we'll see what it takes us, mate. You don't know. It's the time and what the manager and what individuals think he put there.
Aye, 100%, mate. I know what Jimmy's saying, and like you touched on as well, McCrory's very, very highly, rated at Ibrox. Would I be overly worried if it was John McLaughlin is number 1 and McCrory's number 2? I wouldn't be, mate, because the 2 games that, as you said, the boy played, high-profile games, a European game and a game against them, he done very well, mate. He done very, very well. He looked calm, he looked assured, he didn't look flustered to me. So I'd be happy with year 1 and 2 being McLaughlin and McCrory, mate.
Yeah, I agree with that, mate.
Yeah,
we'll see. I think Alan's got another year in him. Playing, but he'll only know he'll know how he feels. Anyway, we've been joined by Jordan. Evening, Jordan. Before you get carried away, it's your Jordan, no Jordan. Your Jordan, Portman.
Oh, right.
Right. Evening, Jordan. We can't hear a word you're saying, mate. No, not a thing. No. Right, he'll come back in. They'll bring him back in a minute. Yeah. But we'll see where it goes. But I think you need to. You take a punt on some of these people, and it doesn't always work out. These guys, Barker, we brought him in. The reason he's not moving, he's on decent money, Jimmy. Yeah.
Well, that's a problem. We bring these type of players in, give them a cracking wage, and look, it's why would you want to move? You know, if you don't get any aspirations to go anywhere else apart from sitting and taking the big bucks, I mean, I would reckon a player like Barker going about £5,000 to £10,000 a week. I might be overestimating that, but that's good.
You're under.
That's great money for somebody who's just coming in to train every day and maybe getting a wee occasional bit part in that. So we need to get rid of that. Need to get rid of the deadwood and bring in.
You're always going to create new deadwood as people establish themselves.
Of course, sure.
Aye,
of course, aye.
Are you back with us, Jordan?
I can you hear us now, panel?
Yeah.
There you go, Jordan. Hey, pal.
How you doing? Happy year to you all.
To you as well, mate.
Oh, thanks, Jordan. To you too.
Floor's yours, Jordan.
No, I've just not been. I didn't really actually listen to what you were saying before I kind of phoned you, what we were talking about, just kind of contracts and whatnot, and what's happening during the transfer window.
Oh, aye, that, and before that we were on quantum physics. I don't know how you're with that.
Quantum physics. I got grade 4 in maths, so pretty nonsense, pretty rubbish to be honest.
What's your views on the contract situation, right?
I've not really been paying attention. See, to be honest, I've not really been keeping up to a lot of date with the news that's been going the past couple of weeks because there's been no football. But I don't really know what's happened. Right, to be honest, I just only seen the James Sands sign. That's about it. To be honest, I don't know what the news elsewhere. To be fair,
have you got a question for the boys? Have you just come on to say hello?
Just pretty much, I wanted to say hello. There's no. Just to make sure we had a happy year and all that, it didn't disappear. That I've not got really much to talk about, to be honest.
But I appreciate that. Now let the boys say hello to you back, Port Bear.
Aye, Jordan, good for you to phone in, mate.
Aye, Port Bear.
Aye, hope you had a good New Year and Christmas, mate. And all the best for 2022, mate.
Yes, we're off 56 this season, that is.
Aye.
Aye, good on you. GFK.
How you doing, John? Happy New Year to you, pal.
Happy Year, GFK.
You need to brush up your quantum physics, pal, because when you come on here, you need to know what you're talking about. So that's why we're on here. That's why we've got the great Port Bear, the greatest statistician of them all.
He was. He doesn't perform too well under pressure, does he, Bridgeman?
No, he kind of caves in a wee bit.
You know,
it's just because he's up bringing.
He's up bringing.
Before you go, Jordan, what was your thoughts on Nathan Patterson?
I wasn't actually sad to see him go because I think it's a great bit of business that Rangers have made with him, especially bringing up a talent like that. And as I say, the fact that Rangers are getting that much game and making 16 million for him, I'll take that into the year. I'm obviously it's. I wish they held him a wee bit longer, but I'm not overly sad to see him go. As I say, players come and go at the end of the day. Nobody's bigger than the club at the end of the day. We're Rangers Football Club. That's what it is. But aye, well, that's one question I did want to ask you. Sorry, I thought I forgot about this. I just want to get everyone's sort of thoughts and hear everyone's thoughts about. Obviously, we I don't know if about many more coming in, but what I think the thoughts are like keeping players to making sure we get 56 this year. My personal opinion is obviously Kamara and Aribo. I think as long as we keep them and maybe Kent as well, then I think we'll be well underway. Just to kind of maybe get the other panel's thoughts on that, to be honest.
Port Bear.
Obviously, it's going to be got a lot of great assets at the club right now, Jordan. Joe Aribo, Glenn Kamara, Ryan Kent, Morelos again is back up there, scoring the goals and looking like the Morelos of old. So when you've got players of that quality, of course, there's teams in England that was proven with Nathan Patterson that have got money to spend, money to burn. It is worrying, but a club like Rangers didn't stand still for me, and I think there'll be contingency plans already in place if any of these guys ever go to the door, mate, over this window. I'd like to think they're going to retain the top stars. I still think you might see maybe one going to the door, but Rangers and Van Bronckhorst, Ross Wilson, I've got everything in place, mate, to make sure it doesn't affect the squad.
Absolutely.
GFK.
Yeah, if they want to go, let them go, but you want to keep the big stars that you've got there. Want to see Kent, Aribo, Kamara, want to see them all stay. and that's the crux of the team. Hadji's a big fan of Hadji. I'd still like to see him perform next season, the rest of the season for his Oxford, definitely.
I'd like to perform this season, no next season.
This season and next season. What I'm saying is I want to see him being there at Rangers. I don't want to just leave it. Keep these guys under contract. I think that's the future for Rangers, and so that going forward, we need to keep these guys in the team, in the squad, and at Ibrox. Kamara and Aribo for me are the catalyst for the team this season. I think in that middle.
I think they became one. And I think at the moment, if you're talking about going forward because of the situation, you've got to put Goldson in there as well. Because we're rolling position.
I don't think MD disagreed with that earlier on. I mean, although we've got my reservations about what Goldson's doing, they'll say they think he's been wrongly advised, but I would go along with you there. Goldson for me has got to be in that make that. So yeah, I'd go along with that mate. Goldson for me, because Bassey for me is a bit part player, so he's not got it. So we've got to keep Goldson in there.
He's surprised me. But anyway, we'll come back to that. Listen, Jordan, thanks for giving us a call. Really good to hear from you, mate. And thanks for the kind wishes. Yeah. I'm sure we'll hear from you.
I'll speak to you soon. Take care. All the best. Have a good weekend, guys. All right. Take care.
All right. Cheers, Jordan.
See you guys.
Right.
Bye.
We've been joined by a guy I want a word with. We've been joined by Jim from Paisley. Jim, I'm sorry, mate. I can't remember leaving your place. I'm sorry.
Aye, you left some mess, by the way. See the dishes at the next day. There wasn't a fork or a knife in that drawer. Anyway.
The truth will out, Jim. The truth will out.
Just as well the film wasn't on. I don't know how much we would have drank if it had been on it.
Did you have to take some of the glasses saved me, you man? Really, come on. See that cocktail card? There's hardly a goblet in it.
They were just reminders, Jim. Just reminders.
I think I got a few quid for these 6 goblets, I've got to be honest with you.
Aye.
How are you doing, mate?
I think the British man away with half the brandy. I know there was a good half bottle of brandy when I went my kit when I was away in the morning. Yeah, British man, you got to grab yourself.
He needed that for the dog. Anyway, how are you, mate?
Aye, lad, fan you. Listen, I don't know why you still wish what they were saying, JFK and the port and that. Mm-hmm. I was wondering, see if you're on the last 6 months of your contract, have you haven't been offered a better deal by now? Surely you're jigging a shaky nail. I don't know many people. The port was trying to have people who was in the last 6 months who struggled with. I heard that. There must be at least a dozen players running about Ibrox in the last 6 months. If there's nobody offered a contract by now, surely they'll end up run out of there looking for other clubs for them.
I'll read them out to you. I'll read them all out to you, Jim. Yeah?
Aye, go ahead.
Goldson, Arfield, Davis, Balogun, McGregor, Defoe, McLaughlin, Barker and Andy Firth.
Andy Firth? Whoa, steady. Right, aye, well, that's something to say. Well, that's what I'm saying. If they haven't been offered contract by now, do you think they're just going to go in the summer?
I don't. I think McGregor and guys like that potentially will wait to the end and see how he feels, who he is. At his age, 6 months is a long time in your career. Some of them are certainties to go. Barker, Defoe, I think, certainties to go, And then you're into the mix of what you think is going to happen with the rest. Portbear.
Aye, 100%. I mean, it's when you've read all that, Alex, it sounds a lot of players. It's like, going all at one point, as Jim's saying, 6 months running their deals. I still think there were a few, maybe 2 or 3 might stay out of that Ox year, if I'm totally honest. I think the rest will go. But I don't like this situation where we let players run down to the last 6 months. And like Jim's saying, these players are also probably laying themselves, you touched on it as well, wide open. What if they don't get an offer? Because there is a lot of players, mate, that are sitting.
But let's be really honest about it. In the team that's now,
yep,
there's only Arfield and Connor. Firth, Barker, McLaughlin. I know McLaughlin's part of the squad. Defoe. Alan McGregor, who plays, but outfield players, there's only it playing the snoo. I know Davis and Balogun and all that are about, but the ones playing the snoo is Arfield and Connor.
Yeah.
And Alan McGregor and Stephen Davis, you could argue, Jim, that they're in the first 6 months of their contract because you're doing it.
Well, see, listen, Alan McGregor can do what he likes any time. If he wants to stay, he'll definitely get a contract. I think if Scotty wants another year, we don't know what the negotiations, what the talks are behind the door with likes of Scotty and McGregor. They might be a wee cutting wages for them in another year. Do they want it? Well, we don't know, but if they stay, fantastic. But as you say, the names you read out there, Oxshire, listen, they can pack their bags anytime as far as I'm concerned. Plus, there's also other players that we've got under contract now we'd like to get rid of, I would suggest. Like so your I'm gonna maybe just right.
Name names.
Right. Maybe shame them. Simpson and Bakura.
Right. People come and go. I mean, some people maybe put Lundstrom in that camp. GFK.
Aye.
Well, I know that Lundstrom's supposed to be talking to Sheffield United tonight. His ex-manager, can't remember his name. Chris Wilder. So similarly, they want him. I would chase him.
He's at Middlesbrough, mate. Middlesbrough.
Yeah. The Middlesbrough, whatever, mate.
Please, if you're going to come on here,
it's a slip of the tongue. It's not about homework. It's just off the top of the head.
Middlesbrough, Sheffield, they don't even sound the same.
Behave yourself now. At least I wasn't asked it to put in homework tonight. If I did, I got it right. So don't begin with that. Other guys here should have got it. No. Alan McGregor and Stephen Davis will be natural wastage, as they say. I think they'll just leave at the end of the season, and whether they stay at Rangers as some sort of backup staff or backroom staff, rather. The rest, I think, will just dwindle away. But it's hard to get rid of them. If they stay that 6 months of their contract, then what can you do? It's a lot of money, and we just need to bite the bullet.
GFK. Let me ask GFK a question here, right?
Yes,
he was talking about Lundstrom there, right? If he does go to Middlesbrough, or wherever he wants to go, are we going to get money for him? Are we going to have the cheek to ask for money for him? Like £1 million or something? We go him a free, remember?
We could ask for something from Jim. Aye, of course we could.
Well, still got value.
He would come into us as approximately valued anything from 5 to 10 million, depending. We got him a free. He'll be the highest earner at the club, Jimmy.
Aye, he would be. Aye, I would agree with you there. I probably think he would be. Aye.
His wages plus his signing on fee. Yeah.
Yep. Definitely. I just think he's a luxury. We don't need him. And I think the new gaffer sees that. Look, there's a lot of deadwood at Ibrox now. We need to get rid of it, and it's no something we want to be carrying ways going forward. We don't want to have that heavy baggage. Look, you've always said yourself, Oxy, and I'm the same as Mace, and every Rangers fan. You don't want to play for us, go, but don't hang on like a turd, and just decide.
You'll not stop that, mate.
I know that. I know. It's just, but it's disgusting. That players are doing that, and hanging on and getting big wages, especially guys like Barker, which was one of the biggest mistakes. I could never realise why we brought somebody like him to Ibrox. One of the worst players I've seen, and I've seen a lot in my time.
I don't mind taking a punt on anybody, Port Bear, but I think it's got to be the contract or somebody like Barker. His contract was too long, yeah?
Too long and too much money, mate. I don't know what warranted. I know Mark Allen had contacts at Man City, and basically he was highly rated down there. And I would take to think that's what they went on. Oh, this boy's coming at Man City. He's done really well, done wonderful things in the youth setup. I could never understand the length and the value of the contract, mate. It was bonkers.
He played brilliantly against us. That's why he was brilliant against us with Hibs.
Yeah, but I get that, Bridgeman. But You think about it, he's never going to get that money again. So why should the lad move? He's thinking, I'm just going to sit here in my 4 years and take these wages until it runs out, and then he'll probably go to another mediocre club in England somewhere for a quarter of the wages. He'll never get that money again. So he's boxing clever and looking after his family.
I think Barker had one good game at Ibrox. It was against us and he was playing for Hibs.
I've got to be honest with you, mate. If one of us were on the thousands that they're on, I don't think you'd rip up the contract neither.
No chance. Of
course you wouldn't.
Right or wrongly. It's modern football, Jimmy. Jim for Paisley, yeah?
Well, absolutely, man. You've got the same as the rest is. We look after number one. You see the guys' points just because they're playing for Rangers. Did they make them saying they can? Just because they wear that blue jersey. But as JFK mentioned earlier on, they do have families and children and houses and mortgages and stuff to pay for. And they want to do their best for what they've got. We see it a different way sometimes.
Just on the players going to Dorocks, Ger, you look at that's some amount of wages that'll be freed up when you think about it, mate. Some top earners there probably. Davis, McGregor, probably Balogun, Goldson, Arfield's probably on decent money as well. So, is that another reason the Rangers letting them run it? Because maybe Gio's got his eye on players.
I'll give you the ages. Connor will be 30 this year. Scotty Arfield 34. Stephen Davis 38. Well, he just turned 37 last week. Alan McGregor will be 40 the last day of January. Jermaine Defoe will be 40 in October. John McLaughlin 35 this year. Brandon Barker 26. Andy Firth 26 also. No.
Yep.
So I think there's three definites to go there, definitely. That'll be Firth, Barker and Defoe, yeah?
Yeah.
The rest we'll see how it pans out.
Can I ask you a wee question, Ox, to the panel as well? It's just regards to our forward line.
On you go, mate.
Something else I was looking at today, and obviously with Defoe going to the door, Cedric Itten, we don't know where he's got. I don't see him coming back either, mate. I think he'll be punted. It leaves you Morelos and Roof, and obviously Roof's injuries have sort of hampered probably his career at Rangers, in my opinion. Although I think he's still the best finisher at Ibrox, and when he is on form, he's great to watch, and he's capable of the spectacular. But you think about it, he's not somebody you can rely on over like a 30 game or 20 game run. So it leaves us Morelos, one striker, mate. That worries me.
Morelos and Sakala, that's about it, really.
Sakala, yeah, that's it, mate. But again, bare bones. So if anything happens to Morelos, you've got Sakala.
All right. Well, listen, chaps, get yourself on mute, because we're going to have a tune.
I've been in exile for some years, and my eyes filled up with tears when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. So I took a trip along just to hear some famous songs when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. I stood there all alone while the boys all down from home sang of Rangers, that team of great renown. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. On the field below, the boys put on a show, the likes they'd never seen at Molyneux. And it's football, it was grand, from Macmillan, Scott and Brand, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now the white flag must come nearer with men like Bobby Shearer, the way he played at Wolverhampton town. And the world forever after would sing of Jimmy Baxter, for on his head they placed that noble crown. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now I knew it had to happen, I heard a mighty roar, the famous Glasgow Rangers they had scored, and the sky was white and blue, Wolverhampton shook right through, the loyal rampant Rangers had come through. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung, and a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. When the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, for those that are starved of football, the club's got 2 games this weekend. The B team are at Dumbarton when they play Dalbeattie Star. 3 o'clock kick-off tomorrow. So far for you, GFK. And then on Sunday, Rangers are away to Stenhouse ladies. At 2 o'clock in the Scottish Cup. Yeah, it's the Scottish Women's Cup. Yeah, so good luck to the B team. Yep. And good luck to Rangers ladies, yes.
Yeah, especially the ladies. Myself and the Bridgeman are still waiting in anticipation to go and do a report on them, but it's not happened yet.
No, it'll happen, mate. It will happen.
Yeah. Excuse me a minute, I'm just having putting something in my mouth here that...
Well, no, have anybody getting caught eating is going to get punted, mate. That's something I'm very, very...
I was just finishing my selection. I was just finishing my selection box there.
You get caught munching last night.
I was just putting a Fredo bar in my mouth.
What's that, mate?
Stevie just dropped the selection box off at his door.
He did. I've just put a Fredo bar in my mouth. It's absolutely lovely. Thanks, Stevie.
Brilliant.
All right, well, we'll see what it takes as we... Best of all, as I say, Portbear, good luck to the ladies and the B team, who some players in right good form for the youngsters, isn't there?
100%, mate. Young boy Weston, 20 goals so far for the season. The boy Lowry, you get behind him, probably one of the most gifted footballers in youth terms I've seen for a long, long while, mate. Excited with him. The thing is, a lot of people are, going at the boy Juan Allegri, the Colombian boy. They'll want him in the first team squad, but Tony Weston's keeping him at the team, mate. It's a fair play to the young man.
Aye. Good luck to them, Jim? Jim for Paisley. Well, GFK finishes his Fredo.
That's shocking, by the way, GFK. Shocking.
Look, Stevie says I was to eat it, so I've ate it. It's done. It's absolutely lovely. Thanks, Stevie. Remember next time you climb me on the fence, the barbed wire's on the left-hand side.
Oh, brilliant.
And you come, Jim for Paisley. Yeah, good luck to the ladies and the B team, yeah? Oh, you'll be away for a snack as well.
He's not getting any more Fredo bars.
No. Right, okay, yeah. Right,
I've been to 2 games this season. That I managed to get to see the young Colts that doing Dumbarton. Aye, look tidy, mate. Look tidy team.
Oh, we'll be joined by Mr. S. Kipper. How are we doing, Mr. S. Kipper?
Happy New Year to one and all.
And you,
Happy New Year, mate.
How about you, Skipper?
Now, I've got a couple of problems here.
Right.
Oh no, keep them to yourself.
Only a couple.
Right, well, first and foremost, my phone went on a blink just at Christmas.
Oh no.
And I've lost all contacts. So if I'm on your contact list, send me a wee text with who you are so I can make up a new list. I did have a backup list, but my home help's tidied it away somewhere, and I don't know what she's done with it. Now, I've got a message to pass on to you. Big Singer is delighted with the Secret Santa. Whoever got her the new ribbon for her typewriter in the book of stamps, she thought that was just very thoughtful.
Well, if you noticed, it was a red, white and blue ribbon.
Yeah, yes, I did notice that. Now, the other thing is, I've got a message for you. Well, it's for Bridgeman, really. It's for the air traffic control at Glasgow Airport. Can he turn the brightness down in that telly? The pilots are having a bit of a problem.
Oh, brilliant, Skipper. Brilliant, pal.
Now, I just hope your home helps no Mrs. Begg, Skipper.
He's trying to play it down about this telly. Don't be fooled, they ain't 65, mate.
Is that because the power cut last night, Oxshire, then?
It might have been, mate.
The power cut?
Because of the power of your TV's using, mate. You're probably taking up the whole grid.
No. I think it's just a wee 65, or I don't know what did he 70s and 75.
Don't be fooled. Trust me, it's bigger than
Imagine
I've seen the
a
pictures.
96-inch telly.
Is that why he moved house, mate? Did he move house to suit the size of the telly? A bigger house, wasn't it?
I'm not discussing why I had to move house. It wouldn't be fair.
You're sure of shockers, I'll tell you, shockers.
Well, I heard that Bridgeman's TV room is called the Odeon.
His last one was called the Oneida line.
That's just shocking, you lot.
Skipper, you're a man, you're a wise man. What did you think of the Patterson deal?
A good deal for all concerned, I think.
All right.
I mean, I would like to have seen the lad stay, but you've got to be real.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. We've also been joined by Big Al. Evening, big man.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Hi, Al.
Good mate.
Hi, Al.
Did they not need to move house because you had to get bigger servant quarters?
You're no far away there.
He needed somewhere to put the horses.
You could beat it as well, Al, I'll tell you.
I know what it's like. It's murder keeping horses, man. It's murder keeping horses. My roses are lovely, right enough.
Always in bloom, always in bloom. What's on your mind, big man?
Oh, no much. Are we going to get any more signings in? Are we going to get marquee signings? That's what I'm wondering.
That's a good question, Mark. I think there'll be more bodies come in, but who they'll be?
Yeah, but I'm sick of bodies coming in. But these are talking about the first half, bodies going out. I don't think we need squad fillers. I think we need marquee signings.
You mean first team players? No.
I mean players that come in on a Friday and play on the Saturday. Players with cojones. I would have thought with the manager coming in, I would have thought that part of the deal with him coming in would be money made now, and he'd bring in a couple of players that he trusts. This centre half guy that for PSV or the Dutch guy I've seen a few rumours about. I thought that might have been a thing that was bubbling away in the background. Whatever club Gio went to, he would have had players that he kind of trusts or he looks up to, and would come in and solidify the team a wee bit better. So I'm just wondering over on maybe the next week or so, this week coming, that we might see a couple of Dutch dynamos come in, if you like. classy players. I think we do definitely need. I think the Gravy boy, he hit it right in the head. I think we really need to look in the forward positions. You spoke about last night that right-hand side as well. If Sakala gets a run, is that a position that he could hold down? Might be, might not be, but I'd rather out in that right side. I'd rather have an actual winger playing balls into a prolific striker.
I'd be interested to see. What position Sakala does secure. Because obviously we've seen him play through the middle occasionally. I think back to the Real Madrid game. We've seen him on the left at Kilmarnock, and we've seen him on the right at Hearts Port there.
Aye, we've moved him a bit, but mate, and I get that, and I know I heard the boys saying last night a few of them would be more than happy to see him on that right hand side. Me personally, mate, he's a number 9. He's a striker with absolute blistering pace, and because your striker
is he a lone
shortage,
striker, Portbear?
No, that's the problem, mate. He's not. He's definitely not. He's definitely not a Morelos. He's probably number 2 to Morelos, if I'm honest, mate, because of the quality, lack of quality of strikers we've got at the club. If Cedric Ellington comes back, Kamar Roof, unreliable, but superb when he's on his game. Again, I think he struggles as well when he's on his own as well, mate. Morelos is number 1. And with the quality that wee man's producing again, mate, there's going to be suitors after the wee man again, definitely. And I think it just leaves us hell of a short. I think we need, if it was me, I'd want to see a centre half 100% nailed down for this transfer window and a right-sided player. A proper sort of Ryan Kent on the right, if you like. That's what I'd love to see, mate. If it was 2 positions that we could get filled this winter transfer window. That's 2 nail-ons for me, mate. It has to be a centre half and a right-sided attacking player. And probably a striker, mate, if I'm totally honest.
How about a centre midfielder? What?
I think obviously, again, Ryan Jack with injuries. I think maybe he might be coming to an end, mate. So it leaves you Kamara in there. You've got Lundstrom, who again we don't know anything about really. He did them 5 games where he was getting man of match performances, and we thought that was him going to kick on for that. But since the new gaffer's come in, he's back to square one. Bacuna, again, unknown. Davis has been at the team since Kamara's been playing in that holding role. So, we are...
Effectively, we've got 1 midfielder.
That's what it looks like, mate. That's what it looks like.
I'm interested to see, hopefully we get good news on Ryan Jack, who's got about 18 months left in his deal. Big Al, but hopefully we get good news in him, for his own sake,
For his own sake, that'd be nice, but we can't hang our hats, and we want to move forward. So I think, I said the other night there, I think centre half, centre midfielder, centre forward, striker, and also some. So that's four areas of the park that I think that we need to strengthen. And it's a bit of cash. To be spent there. I'd rather get players in that we buy than these utility loan players with the options to buy and things like that.
I must admit, I like some of that, mate. I get that I would like to buy some players, but I like that for some players also.
Yeah, that might be all right for the non-essential parts, but the kind of three fulcrums, if you like, is that the right word, fulcrum? Centre half, centre midfield, and centre forward. I don't think they should be loan players with the option to buy. I think the players are critical. Like a goalkeeper, I don't think a goalkeeper should. You should be signing a loan goalkeeper that's been out and loan here, there, and everywhere, and then have an option to buy if he produces. Because if he doesn't produce, it's a problem.
So is the other side of that is if you sign somebody and you give them a 5-year contract, they don't produce, you're stuck with them.
Yeah, but I think if you're offering people 5 and 4 and 3-year contracts and that, and bringing them in on decent money, you've done your homework. We all praise Ross Wilson here. I think he's still prove himself. If you haven't done your homework and get a player, I know an injury can happen, but that's just part of the makeup of signing players. I think for him,
talking about people who haven't done their homework, I'll pass you to Port Bear, then JFK.
I touched on it earlier. I think a club like a Rangers' stature and size are always get their finger on the pulse with who's coming and who's going. And I think if anybody else further goes out the door, I think there'll be players they'll have like a short list, if you like, or who the targets they'll have, and that'll be sat down with Gio as well. Because, like you said, I think Gio will have a very good idea of some players.
Surely that's not dependent. Their signing policy isn't dependent on people leaving.
No, not necessarily, mate. Definitely not. But when the money's there, like it now, we can go and buy now and spend decent money on players like you touched on earlier on. You know, and with the Patterson money and get guys in. But I think Rangers do need to see a few at the door as well, big man. To free up further wages as well.
But that hinders you. I think there should be a buying policy, and I feel like a get rid of policy. The two of them, I don't think, should be dependent on each other.
Oh, they would get rid of Brandon Barker and all that. If they could have last year, but they know that they're not going to leave us. You know, it's part of modern football. You know.
Yeah. Oakshire, do I buy in front of everybody? But you like your Brandon Barker and people like that. I know they done partial homework this evening, but they can work their ticket to the end of the season. These people, the report was mentioned, you and the report mentioned people that's in 6 months, last 6 months. They can work their ticket to the end of the season.
Aye.
And I would be very surprised if Rangers splash out, I don't know, £5 or £6 billion. But one thing I would suggest is what we really do need is a central defender. I think that's where they should be putting his focus on. If we get Ryan Jack in back fit for the run-in to win the league, the midfield looks all right to me, whether Stephen Davis stays or not. There's always a place for Stephen Davis to the end of the season. And I would suggest that Fashion Sakala he's not a centre forward, but if we can keep Alfie playing centre forward, stay centre forward, Fashion Sakala can play that position where Alfie likes to drop into, but we don't like him in.
Okay, I'll go to JFK now.
I can't. How you doing, Al? I can't believe Al's rationale on it, because I mean, if you're talking about doing our homework, we certainly didn't do with Brandon Barker. If we'd have brought Brandon Barker in as a buy now, pay later sort of thing, then he'd have been out the door after about 5 games, because he's absolute garbage. So, I mean, we're left with a player who somebody decided to go and say we're going to bring him in and give him a 4-year contract, whatever. So, I'm not Oxford. I'm all for it. I know we can say we're Rangers and we're bigger than that, but that's the nature of the beast now, Al. So, I'm all right with try before we buy. And I'm happy that that's a situation that we're in now. No, let's not forget what happened in years gone by. We just buying players like Barker into the setup. For me, I'll take any player as a loan player, especially for an 18-month loan. And it means that you've got a big option here of getting rid of him any time you want. But for me, try before you buy is okay, unless is what we would call a marquee player, Alan. I would go along with that.
Said, Jimmy.
It's got to be a marquee player for me.
But it's got somebody.
I'll give you our first team squad as we sit. I'd like to thank Port Bear for producing this for us, taking the time to do his homework. Yes.
Oh, you're kidding us, John.
Just googled it off the website. Search on you, Port.
He set it up as a 4-3-3. So in goal, we've got the legend is Andy Firth, McCrory, McLaughlin, and McGregor. Right back, Tav. Goldson and Simpson, Balogun, Hollander. Yeah. Barisic and Bassey. Aribo and Jack, Davis and Lundstrom, Kamara, Arfield, Bakuna, Hadji and Roof, Morelos and Sakala, Kent and Wright. So if the logic says you actually look at that, the position that we should fill is right back. But there's a few anomalies in there. Obviously, Jack, is he fit? Balogun's no fit.
Did you say Katic?
It looks as if Katic is gone, mate. I think what's he got left in his contract? Not that long, is he? You know.
Was that a player that when Port was doing his research forgot about?
No, I think he's got 18 months to go, mate.
Oh.
You know, I think I'm trying to let him off there, Al. So if you look at that logically, GFK, it's right back should be my priority. Is the boy that's come in, Sands? Is he in there to cover that position?
Well, he's a versatile player. As I said earlier at the start of the show, I watched him in that MLS Cup final. He's comfortable, right back, centre midfield, centre back. So, with Nathan being gone now, you would think maybe, is he a backup for Tav? So, we'll just need to see. He's a try before we buy. Let's not go overboard about him. You know, people are saying, well, he's a 6-time internationalist for America, but we don't know how he's going to cope with Scottish football. Well, with a lot of great Rangers players coming from America over the years, Reina, Bocanegra, I wish it was. But these guys are just need to hit the ground running, and I think if a right back position is there, maybe the boy will have it, because like Simpson and Bassey and all these kind of players, for me, I'd get rid of them tomorrow. I'd definitely get rid of them. I just their time's up at Rangers, so let's see if we can bring in some fresh faces.
Bassey, Jimmy?
Bassey?
I don't.
Bassey GFK.
What is Bassey? Of course, why?
Oh, mate, the last 10 games he's arguably been my most consistent player. Bridgman.
Yeah, you know there ain't wrong anyway, let's put it that way. But I think there's a lot of folk thinking he's not a centre half and we have to buy in a centre half. That's what I think, that's what people are thinking. In which case he's going to end up reverting back to the left back area. And you've got Borna there. So he could find himself out of position entirely.
We didn't think he was a centre half, Bridge, but if he carries on for the next 10 games, you might have to rethink it.
No doubt, but there's folk sitting saying here, the one of the first positions we need to fill, depending what answer they get from Goldson, if they need to go and get a centre half, they have to get him in this window as well. That's what people are saying. So,
what better?
I think Calvin Bassey, mate, as a very, very top young player, I think he's done very well stepping into that position. And like I said earlier on, marshalled very well by Goldson, who seems to talk him through a game. But he's not let us down in that position next year. No. He also gives you cover at left back if Bonner's not there either, which is, like we're saying, we're short in centre halves. So if anything happens to Bonner, we need to bring Simpson in and put Calvin Bassey on the left. But I think Calvin Bassey's a keeper for me, mate, because he can basically play in two positions effectively, left back and centre back. I think he's done very well at centre back, mate.
Fox is dying. Fox has come in. He's dying to get in with that one. Fox, sorry, thanks for joining us, Fox. I know you'll get something to say on that one. Just and then you want to go, Foxy boy. Let's hear for you.
What have you done to him? What have you done to
nothing.
Foxy?
No, he's not there. No, what he said. Oh, Bassey's a keeper, he says. Bassey's a keeper.
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what Fox is going to say, because me and him sing for the same hymn sheet. Calvin Bassey, for me, JFK, I'm awful sorry, I don't often disagree with you, but Calvin Bassey has been absolutely superb.
He's
a sport player. And what he can do, I know, but what he can do, he does very well, is cover the left back and the left central defence. And you're talking about the American boy, you were suggesting that he could probably cover a right back and stuff like
Possibly.
that. And well, that's good to know too. I don't know anything about this guy. I would suggest to you, JFK, no disrespect you, mate, but if it turns out it's half as good as Calvin Bassey's turned out in the left-hand side, I'll be over the moon.
Possibly. We'll see.
Listen, what I'll say to you, GFK, it maybe depends how it goes in maybe the next half a dozen games for him. Yeah?
course
but the last 10 games that he's played, he's arguably been our most consistent player.
Really, 10 games? Would you say he goes far as saying 10 games?
So that's the 10 games that Giovanni Broncos has played. He's played every game.
Aye, but would you say he's been a standout in every game?
I never said that. I said
no, I'm asking.
As he said, some of the games we've won easy and he's not been involved. He's been quite consistent, whether we like it or no. I'm not saying
I never said anything I like it. I just still think he's a squad player.
But
going forward, I think he's a squad player.
The next 10 games, Port Bear, he could make that jersey his own.
He could, mate, and see in regards to squad players, I know Alan, Jimmy, and we all want these players, the marquee signings that are going to come in and hit the ground running.
Hey, Port Bear, didn't bring me into this argument.
Hold on, mate. Hold on. But in regards to Bassey being a squad player, if that's the level of your squad players, mate, Jimmy, I'll be very, very happy because...
Yeah, I understand that. I understand what you're saying. My opinion is my opinion.
Yeah,
and I think he's a squad player. I'm not going to back down on that. And I think going forward, long term, I don't think is the answer.
Big Al, when you come, mate.
Look, I can see Jimmy's point there. Like, I would just say if we brought him in on an 18-month loan contract and he's played 10 games, you'd be saying, oh, he's a keeper. So I think he's done all right, Big Bassey. And I think Jimmy's fun a picture under his missus' pillow, and that's why he's went right after him.
You don't know what's under my missus' pillow.
Oh yes, we do.
We do know.
Look, I think Bassey's he's came in there, he's done all right. But is he a centre half? Is he a left back? I don't know. I don't know what his best position is. I think for me, when he's moved into that centre half role, he's looked all right. He's looked all right there. So
if you would ask that question,
I would keep playing him there.
If we'd have had this discussion now before Giovanni Broncos came in, I would have been in Jimmy's camp. But the boys took his chance. Aye. He's done okay. But for those 2 goals, and he's a part of that Port Bear.
Aye, and he's also keeping the guy that plays centre half, Jack Simpson, the proper centre half. The guy, that's his position, out the team, and he's done very well. Defends well, pace, electric pace. Even if he makes the odd mistake, he's got pace that will always, remedy that mistake. In my opinion, I think young guy's done great, mate. And Bridge will know this. In terms of defending and honing that position, he'll only get better with age. These guys sometimes don't get to their top level until their 30s. So for the stage he's at now, I think he's in his Rangers career and his young age, I think he's been excellent under Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, mate. As you said, he's grabbed the bull with 2 horns and he's taken his chance in a position that's not necessarily his.
So you're saying...
One at a time. Cool.
What you're saying then, Port, is you don't peak till you get your 30s. There's hope for me and you yet, Big Al.
Four is the new 30s, they say. Is that his position now? You're not going to see him at left back. He's going to consolidate that position as a centre half moving forward.
I would say like to think what happens between now and the end of the season. Yeah, and you come, Jim.
No, but I was going to say earlier on, do you know what? I've got this, right? I've got the Scottish Electricity Board do side by house. They're doing their work in somebody's house. My light's just for Newton back on again. Anyway, never mind that. I was going to say... What I was going to say...
You'll be turning the channel and your lights will be going...
I was for Newton back on again. I think we go Southern Darlington, but it's went back. Anyway, I was going to suggest, Bill, what we did say earlier on in the season there, when Borna Barisic was out for quite a spell, injury, and Calvin Bassey came in, they played so well, and we suggested on that show, I remember the night, maybe somebody else did it, we thought Big Calvin may have nailed down that left back position. We do that at a time, he played so well doing that in the left back position. Now he's moved inside one, and now we're suggesting he may have nailed down this position too. I think that the guy's just he's done so well for Rangers since he started playing the first team. Play him left back, left central defence. I don't think somebody else said he's a keeper.
Is he a goalkeeper as well? Is he?
I
think what he's got today, Oxford, sorry, is versatile players. But what Calvin's going to need to do eventually, and like the boy James Sand as well, you can't be a jack of all trades, master a run. These guys are going to need to hone in on a position and excel in it. That's what I would prefer they did. It's great to have a player that can play in a couple of positions, but if you really want to reach the top of your levels in your position, you have to just go and pick what one you're going to be and master it, mate, to take your levels to the top.
Yeah, Paul, let me intervene here, right? The last game I was the starting lineup, Tavernier playing right central defence, which was the Daisy game. I think it was the Daisy game, wasn't it? We all panicked, and they changed it after 3 or 4 minutes. Now, Tavernier is not a central defender to me, right? But I would suggest to you and everybody that's listening to the show that Calvin Bassey can play both the positions, left back or left central defence. There's not a lot of people can do that. I suggest he can do it. That's why I said I think he's done fantastically well in both positions he's played in.
He's raw. Is he the greatest header of the ball? I think we would have to admit not. JFK. He's no great at set pieces when the ball comes into the box. Left back or centre half. He has a go in the forward positions in the box. He's an asset there. But his pace and his power and the way he's starting to steal the ball off people and go in front of them because he's so powerful and fast, he's improving. Now, whether they'll improve enough to say you've got to hang your hat on him and he's your number one centre half, I don't know. Only the time will tell in this run-in. But the jerseys has to lose at the moment.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you there. The jersey has to lose, but I still see something there that, for me, it's no going forward. It's no. I may keep my words at the come end of the season, but no, I just think he's a squad player. That's about it. I'm looking for better than that. And I know you say he's been the last 10 games, but I wouldn't say he's been brilliant in the last 10 games. I think he's been good. Probably.
Yeah, Jerry, GFK. Say he plays the next Old Firm game. Right? If he plays left back or central defence, will you panic?
Right, if he plays in the defence?
Aye.
No, I'm not panicking, Jim. I think the personnel that Rangers have got are more than capable of coping with the puddle drinkers. I've not got any fear of that. Right, I think whatever team that Gio puts out,
you should be GFK. They've signed the 3 greatest players I've ever seen.
They have signed 3 great players for the other side of the world. And
the Kamikaze squad.
We need to be aware of that, because Takeshi's Castle we're going to now, remember, the 2nd of February. So, no, I can understand.
And I'm dogs in East End of Glasgow.
No, we're not allowed to say that.
I'm putting myself out there to be shot down, and I'm happy to do that. I'm thick-skinned, but I've got my opinion. I just feel that he's going forward long term. He's know what we need, and I can understand that the last 10 games he's been one of our better players. But for me, I see a bit of rawness about him. Hope he can get that out of his game, and we'll go forward with that. But I don't have any fear.
Nobody mentioned your skin, mate. Nobody mentioned your skin.
Jimmy the Rhino.
Hey, you better believe it.
No, you better believe it. Right, well, Jimmy, can I ask you a question then, buddy?
There you go, buddy.
Because I can hear your pain there. Like, I'm the same. I'd rather have a proper centre half. And so the boy Souttar and the boy Halkett at Hearts, would you take them in? Do you think they're more accomplished because they're centre halves?
I take Souttar. I want to have Halkett. Halkett had his time at Rangers, and I know he was just a bit part player here and there, but I would take Souttar out. I'd give him a go. I'd definitely take Souttar. We spoke about it at the start of the show.
Would you take Proteus?
No, maybe with the throat.
Why?
I wouldn't touch Porteous.
You don't think he's a good enough defender?
No.
No, all his other stuff and the stuff with Morelos. Take that all out of the equation. You wouldn't take him, no?
No, I think I've said to you on here many times, and it hurts me to say it. We need a player like him that went to the Sheep, right? We need somebody in the midfield who can mix it up. And I know Porteous would do that, Al, and I can understand where you're coming from. But I think Souttar would do that for us. I think he could mix it up in there. You know, I was hoping it was going to be Ryan Jack, but I'm in the frame of mind that Ryan Jack's time at Rangers is gone, mate. I think his injuries are going to be too far, and I don't think he'll play a big part in Rangers going forward. I hope again I'm wrong there, but unfortunately I think his injuries now are far too frequent. But I would take Souttar before I take Porteous.
He's nearly been out for a year now, obviously you're starting to get older as well, but I hope you're in your camp, but I hope he comes back and makes his out with words,
Oh, definitely.
But listen, good debate. Big Bassey, quite a cult hero, Porter.
That's he's became one of them guys, a fan's favourite. He's marauding runs. He's the power of the boy, the speed. We enjoy watching him. As a young player as well. I'm excited to see what he's going to be like, in the future, mate. I think, as Jimmy said, Jimmy's opinion, he's a squad player. I think, he is, but I think he's of a good quality, mate. I don't think he's just like a Jack Simpson. He's better than that. So I get what Jimmy's coming for. Aye, exactly, mate. But if Calvin Bassey's the benchmark for a squad player, Jimmy, I'll take that because I'm enjoying watching the young man develop.
I value your opinion, mate. Aye.
Yeah, JFK.
Yes, pal.
I know where you're coming from here. See if Bassey is the benchmark for squad players. I think we're looking good. I understand what you're saying. Good squad player. Aye. If that's a squad player, if that's a standard, well, fantastic.
Right. Can I ask Al something? You still there, Al?
Aye.
What players? No position wise, but what players would you like to see come to Ibrox? Have you got three?
Souttar and that Porteous tomorrow morning.
Right.
Because I think Hollander's going to cause an issue. I think Goldson's Ovsky. We're not going to have Katic. And I think because the two of them are Scottish, and I think they would develop at a bigger and better club, obviously. I think there's something about that Porteous. I know but I'd like him to be in my team, if that makes sense. And then, midfielders, I think we struggle in the midfield. There's a few guys that need to go. Midfielder wise, I don't know. If I could get any player, I'd get that John McGinn for Aston Villa. If you ask me a player,
if you'd 50 million.
Aye, I know, but you're asking me. That's the type of player I would want in the middle of that park to command it out of midfield. So, could we get a cheaper one of him, if it's possible? I don't know if there's many players in Scotland. This is why the Dutch manager. I know what he's saying. You asked me. I'm not worried about the political leanings, the religious leanings. I just want good players in the middle of the park that are strong, that are hungry, that will not take any SIHIT. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for. For far too long, I don't think we've got that. I don't think Goldson's a hard man. Hollander's not a hard man. Bassey's a nice player, but he's not a hard man. Ryan Jack, I'm going to say,
we've lost one league game in Scotland in 60, mate. I don't get that. But that team can't be bullied. Port Bear?
No, definitely not, mate.
I just like they would be harder.
You're after a type, big man.
Huh?
I think you're after a type of player. You're after like Terry Hull, Terry Butcher. It's a type you're after, mate.
Terry Hull can't lace Terry Butcher's. Ian There you go, Ian Ferguson. Terry Hurlock's nowhere near Ian Ferguson was. Ian Ferguson's a classy, strong, competent player. That's what I'm on. A player that's strong. No, I'm not wanting thugs in my team. I want players that will not get pushed off the ball, not get bullied in the tunnel, but are psychologically very, very strong. John Bruce isn't a great player, but psychologically very strong. It's what?
I thought you said you wanted Porteous.
No, I would take him. I would take him, because I think he's got the attributes. Oh, but Bridge, your opinion on that is always clouded. That's what I said. If you listen to what I said, I think he could come in and do a good job for us. He's in a different environment. He's a young man. He's probably not got the right guidance. He's not had the proper hand on his shoulder. I'm sure if you took him under your wing, he'd become a classy player, Bridge. Yes.
See the Porteous thing. Do you know something? I've said this a long time ago, but afraid to open my mouth. I'm on your side here, by the way. You see that Porteous?
No, there's a lot of people scared. Don't be scared. You sound old enough. You shouldn't be scared.
Steady. How do you mean old enough? I'm going to leave school. My college tomorrow morning. I'm going to go early.
Yeah.
No, but I know where you come from. I know exactly where you're coming from with the Porteous thing. I know exactly where you're coming from. Just because the state it plays in Edinburgh, sometimes it doesn't work out for us. But I understand where you're coming from. He's got that stature about him for a young boy.
Stature, that's the word I was looking for.
Right.
The stature, players with stature, whoever that may be,
he's a liability.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. That's very true also.
And could he make a step to European level, big man?
Of course he could. Of course he
would he be accepted? I don't even see his name as the number 10 who became infamous.
Who's the number 10?
Well, I'm not going to say his name, but they sang Super, and you know what I mean.
Mo Johnson.
I don't even see his name. No, I wish I'd see his name.
Apples and oranges.
What was his name? Morris Johnson. What was his
number
name?
10. Don't you start. Don't you start. I get the jail in the main stand for that.
Michael O'Halloran.
Morris Johnson.
The world's a different place now, man. The world's a different place. And two different players, aren't they? Two totally different players.
What you thought of him signing, he came to us with a bit of pedigree. Porteous and Big Al saying you're buying potential, but I just think he's Port Bear. I just think he's got a lot to learn, the boy. He's fast, he's hard, he's decent in the air, but he's a liability.
Oh, yeah. See, Porteous, when they came to Ibrox, when they played Ibrox, usually that team shape.
Your name's Jim. Port Bear's coming in, then you can.
Sorry, Port.
He has got attributes. Oxshire. He's commanding. He's strong in the tackle. Strong in the air. You know, he loves playing against us. That's the only time I see him playing well is against us, mate. I've seen him playing against your St Johnstone's and that mob across the road, and he looks like a completely different player. He always seems to get up for playing against one team, and that's us, in my opinion. I think he could make the step up to European level. I don't, mate. But like Jimmy said, he could be a squad player. Would I like to see him? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't like to see him anywhere near Ibrox.
Exactly.
I've got to say, I get your set. Maybe that type of player, maybe Souttar could give you that, mate, because he's strong in the tackle, he's good in the air, you know, and maybe hasn't got the baggage or the mentality that boy's got. But we'll see where it takes us. Where are we? Right, okay. Who are we going to sign? Port Bear, you've been on these sites all day, studying and looking, and you've got that ticket to keep running.
What about the football?
Aye, the names that keep going about, mate. Big Al touched on it. The Dutch boy, Docky for Vitesse Arnhem, 23-year-old, 6'3" centre back. Obviously, Gio must know him for his days with Feyenoord. But that one doesn't seem to be going away. But the thing with that deal is, apparently, he doesn't want to date over Christmas because he's the captain of the club. he's wanting to do the pre-contract but come in the summer. Obviously, John Souttar as well, mate. That's another one that seems to not going anywhere. The Skov Larsson, that keeps coming up. Apparently, I seen somewhere today that we put a £5 million bid in for him, but again, don't know if it's true. And there's another boy, mate, with Real Zaragoza, Pablo Torre. This is a boy that's rated at £4 million. They've got that's the release clause he's got. I know Gio personally, for what I've read, has said he's an attacking midfielder, 18 years of age, highly rated in Spain, and is seen as a replacement for Scotty Arfield, mate. Again, I'll be the summer again for that one. It's not immediate, but these are just four of the names that I've noticed that probably over the last fortnight I've seen constantly getting spoke about on Rangers sites and stuff, and that's even other fan media sites, other podcasts, etc. Keep mentioning these four.
So listen, slowly but surely, or quite quickly, if you like, GFG, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst is starting to put his mark in it.
Of course he is. I mean, Dick Advocat came and done the same. No, and I would be surprised if we've got 2 or 3 Dutch players come next season as well. So, I mean, he's got a cracking squad of players there to play with now. And as long as we can keep them, I've said that all along, we don't need any players in. But it's good if we can bring players in. I think the squad we've got now is more than capable of winning this championship that's in front of us. So, there will be personnel down the road that he'll bring in, because he's a world-travelled player. Especially when you see what it means, him and Claudia Arena obviously have kept in contact, and they brought the boy James Sands to Ibrox. So we just need to wait and see. The Danish boy, I think he's Danish, isn't he? There's talk about $7.5 million. Whether that's clickbait or no, I don't know. But we just need to wait and see. And if Souttar's there, fine. But look, Gio will need to put his own mark on the team next year, and he'll need to make sure it's his own players, and because he inherited the other manager's squad. So we'll just need to wait and see. Before he asks, that's another name I don't say.
Who's Steven Gerrard?
Very funny.
Let it go, Jimmy. Let it go.
Oh no, hey,
hey,
what do you think I'm in the. What's that?
I suppose you're too old now, right enough. You're too old now.
Do something else. Do something else, but no old.
Do you want a cuddle, mate? You want a cuddle?
Nah, I'll get one off my wife.
You'll get one off.
You'll
get one off of Mo Johnson and Stevie Gerrard.
Look at a picture of Calvin Bassey in the buff.
Just you wait till you're here, Big Al. I'll just show you who Carol Bassey is.
Just that's next to your Secret Santa sorted. A couple of cardboard cutouts.
Dearie me, aye.
But it's an exciting time. Bridgeman, it's good that we're linked to players of a better calibre than we were. Come on, we've got to get in. I'm not going to go, Jimmy. We've got to see Steven Gerrard is due. He did leave us where we were 4 years ago and where we are now. We're looking at better players. We've got a better squad, and everything's better than it was in 2018.
100%. And actually, it's even slightly better than it was 3 months ago, before he left, or however long it was. So since then, he's come in, but Gio has come in and sort of started to raise everything around about him, and I think that's fantastic. And as a Rangers fan, I want to go there and see it, and see these players that he's going to bring in, because I'm desperately keen to see them. I thought we played very well great stuff last season, and we've played quite well up to now. We just need to be able to get the right quality players in, pick us up, go the next step, go for it. Gio, make us win.
Aye, get the port.
I think just touch on what the Bridge says, mate. I think under Van Bronckhorst, he's inherited another man's squad effectively, mate, who looked like they were, going to sell the jerseys and potentially let Celtic.
Is that the same as moving into another man's slippers?
Aye, same idea, mate. But he's taken that squad, it's not his squad, mate. He's made a few tweaks. He's shifted the formation a wee bit here and there, and he's went on a 10-game run, mate. Where we find ourselves 6 points clear. The league doesn't lie, mate. He's keeping the 0. If we keep doing that to the end of the league, mate, obviously there's only one winner of the championship, and that'll be Glasgow Rangers. And once he gets his own wee sprinkle of fairy dust for his own players and starts into gelling them players into the current squad, I just think there's only one way we go, mate, and that's up. I think the guy's been a breath of fresh air. To a guy who I'll always be thankful for getting 55, Steven Gerrard. I'll be always thankful for that. The way he's turned the club's fortunes round. We've got sellable assets, and it's just up to Gio now, mate, to take it that next step. And I thoroughly believe, mate, he will do it. Like Big Al, I think the way players for the continent, Holland, etc., coming in to add to what we've got, and add that extra bit of magic, an extra bit of class to take us to the next step, mate. I think we're very exciting times under Van Bronckhorst.
Jim for Paisley.
Well, I'm excited for the second half of the season next year. For the first half of the season, until the new management come in, when the previous management crowd here were at the club, I think we were worried, and I was worried. And well, thank God he left. We've got a new manager now who's got different ideas. He's not changed the playing staff that much, but he's tweaked certain things next year, which is working perfectly well for us. And he may add to the squad in the transfer window this season. He may not, he may. But whatever he does, he'll probably do it well. And I think he knows how to win a league. I think we're only 56, mate. Whatever he does. I'm excited.
Okay, mate. If you're excited, we'll let you go, mate.
You don't like me.
How are you feeling?
You came out your shell a wee bit, didn't you?
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the next stages to come. We've got 18 games left of our season, and we need to go out and win. Starting from the game against Aberdeen, all we want to do is win the games. Each one that comes up, win the game, and it'll just get. It's a target.
Here's an interesting stat for you, Bridge. If we beat Aberdeen, we'll have exactly double their points after 21 games. But they were going to burnish above us, according to some people, yeah?
Yeah. I don't like Aberdeen at all. I'm like a lot of Rangers fans. But seriously, if we can take 3 points off of them, that'll be just heaven for me. Just heaven. And that's us went away again. Got the 3 points. And that's all I care about is the next game. Only interested in the next game. Biggest game of the season coming up for us. That's if we get playing.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I think that'll be the springboard, because obviously we've got a couple of games after that, and all of a sudden GFK, as mad as it is, quite quickly the games start running out, didn't they?
Of course, that's what happens, mate, and it's just about keep playing and winning. And as we always say, the next game is a big game. Looking forward too far doesn't do us any good. You try to predict things that's going to happen. So the next game is a big game, which is against the Sheep. So we're more than capable of winning that game. Just like to say that the people out there that are thinking that we're running scared for the so-called best 3 players in the world, and that's not what's happening here. No, there's only one.
Did we manipulate fixtures to get moved so we couldn't play?
No, we didn't.
No.
I mean, the last time that they manipulated, they were going to go to Japan, but now they've brought Japan here. And it's worked for them. So, but look, I'm really, really happy the way things are going. I know I'm sometimes hypercritical about some players and that, but I'm not being derogatory against the players, just the way I feel at this moment in time. But I'm more than happy with things that are going on at Ibrox, and let's hope that going forward, before we play the Puddle Drinkers on the 2nd of February, we can increase that lead. And that's what we want to do, is increase it. And I think we're more than capable of doing that. I'm not thinking, I know. We've got a good team, a good squad of players next year.
All right, okay. We're coming into the show. It's been enjoyable. Good debate, Port Bearer.
I've enjoyed it, mate. Enjoyed it. Just to touch on what Jimmy says, I don't know where this fear seemed to be coming from, mate. The league doesn't lie. We've only lost one game, they've lost 3 this season. So I'm like Jimmy, I don't know where it's came from, all this, clamour for them being the world beaters again, because they're absolutely rank rotten, in my opinion. But great night, mate. Thanks very much for having us again, and I'll catch up with you in the very short future.
Yeah. It's been a bit of fun. Listen, thanks for the call as always, Big Al. Always great to hear from you over there in Oz, mate.
No problem, gentlemen.
What's the public opinion on the Djokovic thing, quickly?
Oh, get him out. Should never have came to the country, man. What's he on? They people have done in Melbourne been locked down, and then this twat wants to come in and think because he's get him out, man.
Yeah, oh.
You got to see the hotel he's in. He's like that one in the East End of Glasgow. They put you in if you're a homeless hobo. It's a place, man. Good on him. Good on him. You could come here, eh? You're not coming here, pal.
Jim. Yeah. I heard they won the table tennis tournament in the hotel. He's playing Betty, the cleaner, in the final. He's run about with a...
Betty the cleaner. Betty was unlucky. Right. Like.
Over to you, JFK.
Well, it was good to be back on. I've been on for a week or so. I'm out at Merna, but really good to have a good debate with my good friends. I'm actually going to venture out tomorrow, guys, and I'll try and give you a report on the Lowland League game, which I'm going to tomorrow. Okay. So if I get a report on that.
For you, mate? Hope the weather's all right.
Yeah, well, I'll get well wrapped up, mate. I'll get the igloo gear on and go and do that. So, I'm hoping to venture out tomorrow with my oldest. And but again, it was great to be on. Nice to speak to my friends, especially Big Al. Good opinionated man like myself. Just says it as it is.
Over to you, Bridgman.
Oh, what can I say? Listen, fantastic show tonight. Every single one is, you guys are brilliant to talk to. Listen to, superb. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, there is only one Rangers, and we're it. So everybody, just keep it going for us and keep it going for the Rangers because they really need us. The club needs us. Keep it going.
You here? Can I thank Big Al, obviously skipper, Jim Pays, always a pleasure. Bridgman, JFK, and of course Port Bear. Thanks for listening. Please stay safe. We'll be back on Monday night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. We'll be joined by the Bridge will be back along with Southside and Ur Jaffa. Thanks for listening. Stay safe and remember, we are the people.
Ja.